Alright, boys and girls, this is the last video in my local character anti-series, and it's gonna be over my boy Groh. He sadly has been pretty well nerfed in Season 2. He got one thing that's pretty good, a decent long range, safe, high, gets even better in Soul Charge, but other than that, he kinda got destroyed in my opinion. I want to make this as quick as I can, so let's get into just some quick moves that Grohs use that are just not good moves or have some anti to them. First of all, it's BBB. People like to mash in between this. You can't. So just step. Boom. Standard BBB kind of, except it's kind of weird. It doesn't look like it should frame trap with the third, but it does. His AAA is just highs across the board, so there's no real reason to care about that. Grohs rarely use it unless they're trying to take their frames back. 6-6 AA used to be maybe his best move, even though it was punishable, but they made it so it doesn't knock down anymore. So it doesn't give the good Oki, it doesn't give the wall splats, and it's still minus 12. They did this so they could give him a new move that is honestly terrible. Like, this is so much worse than his old 6-6A knockdown, and it doesn't wall splat, and it's more punishable. So 6-6AA is minus 12, show here, and 6-6AB, this is minus 14. So you're doing something more unsafe to get a shitty knockdown. So these are just, I mean, it's kind of a neutered string now. It still is like very fast in tech steps quickly, but he's giving up a lot now for not a lot of return. Next string is 6A plus B. Grohs like to use this because it lethal hits in specific circumstances. Just queue up a 14 frame punish. He can go into Avenger, but you'll still interrupt him with the 14 frame punish. Next string is 1BB. This one is just straight minus 14. If you were to block the first, you could step right. You could even get like a lethal hit combo if you have a 2-2B lethal hit. But it's kind of rare that you're going to block this and have the wherewithal to punish by stepping right. So just focus on, even on the first hit, hitting. You can do BB or whatever your 14 is. What's another? Yeah, 2A plus B. Slow low. I want you to try to get out of the habit of blocking it, because it's basically risk-free for Groh if you're blocking it. Very long range, safe, does okay guard damage. Try to jump attack it. It's like a 40 frame move, so you can't be letting Groh get away with it. I guess one last move I want to get into before I go into Avenger is 1A. We'll go into this later with Soul Charge, but this is a seeable low if you're looking for it. I find it's easier to look for it when he's in Soul Charge, because you know it's probably coming then. It's a very long range, do it on hit low, because if he does this into his wall standing K, this is just a frame trap. I think I fucked that up. No, I didn't. Yeah, I 2A'd there and was still interrupted. So you need to look for it. It's like, this move is maybe 26 or 28 frames. It's totally seeable, but you need to look for it. Now I can get into Avenger. This is Groh's entire game plan, basically. It's a pretty good stance. It's kind of a move list condensed. But it was one of the other things that got nerfed / buffed. It's kind of a unique situation. Before I get into transitions, these are the moves. You have everyone's favorite low, Storm's Coming. He can charge it for a safe version, and it knocks down, and lethal hits in certain circumstances. He has the BB, which is his frame trap option, and does great great damage. He can stop after the first and kind of, you know, bootleg you. He's not very good on a hit after he stops that first one, so it's really just for mental frame advantage. he has the K. This is the move that was nerfed in Season 2. It used to be a pretty good option. It used to go back into Avenger much faster. The reason they slowed it down is because they added a high follow-up to it. It's not a natural. It's only counter. So you have to block the high. The high is safe, so whatever. It's not like it's a big... There's not a lot of reason to use this unless you're specifically calling out reversal edge, which you probably should be calling out with Avenger B+K anyways. This stance used to be kind of fucked over by how it basically boiled down to if your opponent was going to reversal edge it on block. So he would have to kind of ruin his good entries into Avenger to try to do this to stop reversal edge. And at least they added this, so you have to hold your reversal edge for much longer than you think. Like I'll show you. Oh, whoops. Like there, see? So it's kind of his second option to beat reversal edge now. So that's at least a kind of slight buff to K. Otherwise, the only other move he has in it is the -12 mid that doesn't attack throw. Oh, I guess he has step too. So he has a lot of mix-ups. I wouldn't do the A+B very often because it only gives, what, 10 more damage than BB? Yeah, 11 more damage. And that's really not worth it because BB is safe on block. So it all comes down to his entries on how he gets into Avenger and if it's on hit or block. He only has one transition in his entire move list that's real on block. So I'll go into that one first. It's he does 4A. And he's good enough frames after 4A on block to where he can frame trap you, as you see. So in that circumstance, you would have to reversal edge or GI if you wanted to beat B. So that one is a little bit of a 50-50 right thing, because Groh could do one of these, you know? And then if they reversal edge, they get ruined. So it just boils that mix-up in particular down 100% to 2A reversal edge. Kind of like 2B's aggression shift in some cases. The time it changes is when he hits you with moves. There's a few options where even on hit they're not very good, like a 6A. 6A on hit isn't even a good transition on hit, because you can still reversal edge it. But transitions like 6BB are good, because you can't reversal edge on hit. I tried there, but I got hit. There, you saw the animation. So this time, if you are trying to anti-grow, you're going to need to do, or if I'm on hit, you're going to need to GI. And it follows the same principles where he can use B+K or basically B+K, because the KA will get GI'd. So on hit, if you want to do anything, do GI. There's very few cases where this isn't the case. You know, like this, you can just punish. This, you can just punish into Avenger. This, you could just punish on Avenger, obviously. So it's basically, except for 6A and his punishable transitions, on hit you're going to GI. And on block, all Avenger mix-ups you're going to 2A, except for 4A. 4A is the one that's real. So if he wants to do it on block, he has to do 4A, and if he wants to do Avenger mix-ups on hit, he has to use his pretty decent 6BB. He uses it as a punish, and then he goes into Avenger mix-ups. And then you can't reversal edge after that, you have to GI. And then it turns into a decent mix-up, but one that's reasonably, like, it's just straight up, there's good options to it, because If you're forcing Groh to use B+K, he's sacrificing Avenger entry frames. It's steppable, very interruptible. Like, you can bootleg interrupt him, so yeah, it kind of just boils down to that. I think I covered all of Avenger pretty reasonably, so let's go into Soul Charge. The first thing I'm going to go over is definitely the 1 AK. This is another thing that was nerfed in Season 2. They nerfed the damage on it. It no longer does a full combo's worth it. Well, still full combo. But it used to do, what, like 78 damage? They did that because they gave it a lethal hit for some random reason. So it's overall a nerf. This is seeable. Look for it. And if you do block it, it's just a launch punish. So you gotta block it low, mid, pop. After that, his mix-up for that is 3 BB. And this one, you step after the first hit. Just boom. Step either way. Does a lot of guard damage if you block it, so don't let it happen. Soul Charge also changes his Avenger, because he can go into Steed of Night sometimes. Or he can, you know, see, he can do Steed of Night options. Which is kind of strange. It changes the way you anti-Avenger sometimes, but very rarely does it really change it. Essentially, that's going to be the one that changes it. He can teleport behind you, be very anime, because this is a break attack as well. So a lot of times I just let him do his mix-up on me then. The worst thing that happens is he does the A. I get 49 damage. Whereas if he's Steed of Knighting, I'm suddenly fucked. Like, this does a lot of damage actually. 72. So yeah, definitely don't be worried about it. That's really it. He gets a better version of this new attack he got, which is one of his only buffs. Oh, it's quarter circle forward speed. That's what it is. Okay. 76 damage, safe, high launcher basically, with no combo. But look at that range, and Soul Charge is super good. He doesn't really have any other stuff he wants to use in Soul Charge. There is one, wait, there is one other move. What is it? Oh, I think it's this. No, it's not that. This is just awful. It's a high-low. I think it's natural. It goes into Steed of Night, but it goes into Steed of Night at bad frames. It's another one of those that you can 2A. Oh, this is when 1 BB becomes a little bit, tiny bit real. You can't punish it with BB anymore. This one's annoying. In Soul Charge, he gets access to Avenger off of this. Not Avenger, he gets Steed of Night specifically, I think. No, he gets Avenger too. This is a pretty good move in general. I should go over that really quick. This move is safe. Well, I didn't hold the guard, but the only way you can really deal with it is to, you have to have a 10 frame, or you have to GI or reverse ledge it. It's a decent step catcher, and it gets quite annoying, so it gets even better in Soul Charge. He can't do that normally, can he? Oh yeah, the 6A, of course, we went over that. That's a bad transition. And that's it for Grohs, boys and girls. After this, I'm going to make a playlist, and I'm going to maybe write up in text form just general anti-notes from the video. But I want the videos to exist so everyone has visual idea of what these moves are and visually sees how I'm punishing them, because I think that helps your brain a lot more than text. Alright guys, well we'll see you in the playlist, I guess.